Welcome back to the program. Growing up in Tulsa, I remember how much I loved summertime. There were fun ways to beat the heat and celebrate being out of school. Jack Frank with TulsaFilms.com is joining us remotely this morning to share Tulsa treasures of days gone by. Good morning, Jack. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Leanne. How are you doing?
Doing well. We were laughing just the other day, Alan and I, about how much we used to love summertime. And I think really it was because we were kids and out of school. Now as an adult, it's like, I'm just hot all the time.
Right. I think as a kid, you don't even feel the heat, right?
Totally.
So glad to be out of school and carefree.
Well, we were talking about what August event could be going on that we might showcase, and you've put together a great array of things that for a lot of our viewers don't even know existed back in the day. So let's roll that beautiful bean footage and have you kind of talk more, starting off with indoors on the ice.
Well, this was one way people cooled off, not just in summer, but year round. People don't remember or forget that Tulsa had an ice skating rink, and a pretty nice one too, down at the Williams Center. It was called the Williams Center Forum. It was patterned after the Galleria in Dallas with an ice skating rink and then shops and restaurants built around it. And you can see how busy it was at one time. Of course, how can you talk about summertime activities and not talk about Pennington's Drive-In down on the Restless Ribbon on South Peoria? This was it in its later years, right before it closed. But it was a place that people hung out for ages. Did you go there?
I didn't, but you know, because we lived out in the country and didn't make it to the big city all that often. But I had to laugh at about rolling up the window to be able to catch the tray just right. So I do remember, yeah. Okay, we're moving on now to the races, and I do remember going to the stock car races.
And people may forget that at the fairgrounds every weekend they'd have stock car, race car, races every Friday, Saturday night. And I remember you could hear it. If my memory serves, you could hear it like at 41st and Yale.
Right.
Out by South Road Shopping Mall, you could hear the cars going. And I think there was eventually a lawsuit by the people around the fairgrounds who didn't like the noise very much. But that was always a tradition in Tulsa for ages, as well as the Tulsa Drillers, which used to be the Tulsa Oilers, played there, and kind of a rickety ballpark. We're so privileged to have what we do now with One Oak Field, but you can see how it was just kind of a old time ballpark there at 21st and Yale, or 15th and Yale, I should say. And of course, the team was called the Oilers back then. And I like looking at the billboards behind them.
I did too.
Tulsa.
Otasco is the one that caught my eye, you know. When I watch your films, though, I always laugh. I love the hairstyles. I love the clothes.
The hairstyles are great.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny because this makes 3 activities they used to have at the fairgrounds. This, of course, was bells, and you can't talk about activities in Tulsa from years gone by without bringing up bells. And it was just a fun place to go for kids, especially in the summer, but it would be open beyond the summer a little bit. And everybody remembers Zingo and the bumper cars. Did you go to Bell's?
Oh, all the time. In fact, and then as an adult, I did stories on them too, which I'll tell you about in a minute. I want to get to the KRMG Great Raft Race. This was, you know, we have the Arkansas River. Why not utilize it like this?
Yeah, and it was a Labor Day event held by KRMG radio station, and anything that floats, I think you could enter into the raft race, and you started at Sand Springs and floated down to Tulsa. I think the winner got some sort of prize, but it really wasn't about winning and losing. It was about just floating in the Arkansas River, if that was your thing.
And being in community, you know, getting together with groups. And I know they've had different iterations of that over the years, trying to kind of rebuild that. You know, some things back in the day were just super simple, and our lives have gotten really more complicated. And so I think nowadays it maybe makes it. But you talked about bells. I'll have to find the clip and show you next time you're on. I did lots of stories there, and I remember as one of my first reports, getting to do a story on this amusement park that I grew up playing and I mean, I love Phantasmagoria, Zingo.
Oh, yeah.
They had all these, they had on top of the concession stand that these planes that would fly around. I look at that now and I think to myself, you know, insurance, and as a parent, I'm like, how did our families ever let us get to go and do those things?
Well, isn't it funny that if we could bring all those things back for even just a weekend,
Yep.
how amazing that would be, from the ice skating to Bells to the raft race, and just had everything on one weekend.
Yeah. Well, I know that we do have opportunities to have ice skating again. That's going to be coming, you know, that's great. And of course, our fingers are always crossed for Bells to come back. But thank you so much. Real quick, we got to wrap, but I know that you've got your video DVDs available. A lot of folks aren't familiar with those, and you've got a special deal for them.
Yeah, we have 25% off. TulsaFilms.com is where we sell our DVDs. People still buy DVDs, believe it or not. But if you go there and use the code 25OFF, OFF, you get the 25% off discount. So check it out.
I love it. TulsaFilms.com. Jack Frank, Tulsa Treasures. Really appreciate you taking time to be with us today. Look forward to seeing you next month.
Okay. Bye, Leanne. Thank you very much.
You bet.
I appreciate it.